Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we'll return with round 3 of season 5 of our F124 driver career mode. Yes, we're back this weekend here for the Japanese Grand Prix. If you missed out on the video that went live yesterday from Australia, I would highly recommend going back and checking it out. Albert Park, as always, delivered a fantastically interesting race, and I cannot wait to keep this series going this weekend. Taking a look at our championship, George Russell has just a 1-point lead over Max Verstappen, a 3-point lead over Fernando Alonso, and just a 5-point lead over myself. So 4 drivers from 4 different teams all delivering in the opening couple of Grand Prix as well. Safe to say, Hamilton, he's having a bit of a stinker as our teammate, down in P15 so far, yet to score a point this year, and behind the rookie Enzo Fittipaldi as well. So I'm hoping maybe Lewis can start to try and get his act together in the next couple of races, because otherwise, you know, we are just not going to be in the fight for the Constructors' Championship over the course of this campaign. But we've got some rather interesting news as we head into round 3 of the year, because already we've got a secret meeting, and I genuinely have got no idea which team this is going to be with. So we're going to see what Eleanor's got cooking for us, and hopefully it's going to be someone interesting. Oh, baby, like an ex-girlfriend that wants you back. Haas, they have come a-crawling, and they clearly must have heard what I said in the video yesterday. I mentioned, once we've kind of spent our time with Mercedes, I either want to go back to Haas or to Sauber to try and finish off this game. So clearly Haas have heard that, and they want us back inside the team. I think we'll continue talks. We'll let them see what they've got cooking. Get yourself subscribed if you're new. We're trying to hit 140k by the end of the year. And yeah, let's head out then straight into qualifying.
This is a circuit where sometimes you see something truly exceptional behind the wheel. We've seen it from Vettel. We've seen it from Verstappen. It is a remarkable place to watch a car at speed. Welcome to Suzuka. We're qualifying for the Japanese Grand Prix.
Right, let's do this thing then. So far, qualifying has easily been our weakest component so far of the season, but maybe today we can spring a surprise, of course. It's going to be weird not going to a track that is completely dominated by top speed. That being said, though, Suzuka is certainly not a slow venue by any regard either. Obviously, we did really well through the fast chicane at Albert Park last weekend, so, you know, a lot more of this circuit is kind of similar to that. Maybe we could try and get this thing right up towards the front of the order there, but I'm going to guess this is going to be a track that's going to well suit McLaren as well. Red Bull and Aston Martin, obviously, alongside Verstappen, you can never really count them out either in a qualifying. But yeah, how will we get on? Only time will tell. The hairpin, so difficult to try and put the power down there. As you can see, Verstappen able to find the grip, find the traction. He's got so much confidence in that Red Bull. And I tell you what, he might not have won a race this season, but yeah, that Dutchman, when he's happy in that car, he is an absolute beast there. As we try and get the run off of Spoon Corner there, you can see Lando Norris now posts up to the front of the order. Obviously, we've had 2 different pole sitters in the opening 2 Grand Prix. Will we get a third this weekend? And so far, I'd argue this has been my most complete qualifying lap of the season. I'm trying not to make any errors through the final couple of corners. Nice and easy on the throttle on the exit there. Shortest run to the line, and we go better than we did last weekend. We end up, I believe, P7. Well, McLaren, Red Bull, Aston Martin. McLaren, Aston Martin, Red Bull will be your top 6 then. But yeah, to be within 3.5 tenths, I'm pretty happy with here at Suzuka. Carlos Sainz getting ahead of both Ferraris in his V-carb there, so maybe reminding them what they're missing out on losing the Spaniard, obviously back at this end of Season 1. 1 thousandth of a second between Verstappen and Lando Norris, though, in qualifying. So that's quite an impressive feat there to make it 3 pole sitters from 3 Grand Prix. Will we see our 3rd different winner, though, of the season as well? That's the next big question, as Hamilton only in P12.
As of 2022, 12 champions have been crowned at the Japanese Grand Prix. Who will be tasting glory today at the flag? The lights go out in a few moments' time. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he will start from pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who will start from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Fernando Alonso, Russell, Stroll, Perez, Firestarter, Sainz, Oscar Piastri, Fittipaldi, Tsunoda, Hamilton, Ocon, Gasly, Iwasa, Ricciardo, Albon, Behrman, Joe, and Frederick Vesti. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Well, here we are then back at Suzuka. Such an iconic track, such a roller coaster of a venue. I really do love coming back to this Grand Prix. They're 27 laps ahead of us today. And again, it looks like mediums to hards is going to be the way the team want to go with the strategy. I would be prepared to shake that up a little bit. If we can get the mediums to like lap 17, lap 18, try to be really quick in the second half there. But Lando Norris, he would love to get his first victory of the season under his belt. They really kickstart his campaign in the way he means to go on. We haven't really seen McLaren fight for titles so far in F1 24, but now is as good a time as any, waiting on the grid for those 5 red lights. It's a mighty long hole, but it is going to be lights out, and away we go. They're off to a fairly decent start. Norris has gone nowhere, and immediately the McLaren man from pole position down to P5 then by turn 1, as we just want to try and hang on to our grid slot there. Carlos Sainz, of course, got everything to prove this weekend, but immediately then, well, it's Alonso and Verstappen back at the front of the field, just like it was last time out at Albert Park there. But Lando Norris just went absolutely nowhere of the start of the Grand Prix, so I think I jinxed him. I think that's the only possible explanation there. I absolutely jinxed him at the start of this. And I mean, apart from him going backwards, that Stroll made a good start up into the podium places. Don't see him getting many podiums in this game. Of course, he did win that race, though, back at his home race last year in Canada.
Okay, now stay alert for threats around you.
It still feels like a weird little universe we were in last season, where we had genuinely Lance Stroll could have been a championship threat up until about the halfway stage of the campaign. Of course, then Lance Stroll did Lance Stroll things. It was almost like his 2020 season, where he was absolutely on fire for about the first 5-6 Grand Prix. Had that crash, I believe it was, at Mugello, and then basically did nothing throughout the rest of the year as well there. But Sergio Perez then looking pretty racy as well. He had a tough qualifying back in Bahrain, but ever since then, he's actually done a pretty good support role over at Red Bull, as Verstappen once again then will lead the way.
Enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
There we go. Mark every single weekend has to remind me how DRS works, but yeah, Verstappen at the front. Alonso, though, once again is absolutely hounding him. Oh, we've already got yellows out. Who on earth's just slowing down then early on in this race? Who is it? I can't look at the mini-map when I'm going through Spoon. I think it's a back marker again. Maybe a Sauber. It could be a Ferrari. Actually, it might be Enzo Fittipaldi, who's had a pretty tough start to his Formula 1 life here at the moment. Yep, it is Enzo Fittipaldi then that is going to be first out of this Grand Prix. So disappointment for the young Brazilian once again there, and so much bad luck for him early on. I just want to see him score a point. Well, Perez then is already disconnected from those top runners as well, so...
overtake button and see what you can do.
Yep, Mark's got exactly the same idea as me. Plenty of battery as we make our way back in towards turn 1. And we will fly around the outside of the Red Bull there. And up then into P6 of this Grand Prix, of course. I've waxed lyrical about it before on this game. How OP the AI are around a track like Suzuka. It feels like this Merc, though, has got a bit of fight in it, but I'm not expecting to get the same kind of results we did back in Melbourne. It really is just the low-speed traction zones this car seems to struggle with at the moment, as Perez again going to hound me back down towards someone. I do not want to go 3 wide in towards that first corner, but that was exactly what it was looking like. Sainz there as well will make his way through, so by trying to gain a place, I've actually ended up losing one in the grand scheme of things early on here. Again, we spoke about it in Australia, only 16 races this year. It does mean every race is even more important.
Can't let them hold us up for too long, so let's try and get past as soon as possible and crack on. Push, push.
So we have got to make sure that we just pick up points week in, week out, and hope that's good enough to keep us in the hunt. Oh, Sainz, that is a brave look to the inside there through 130R. Luckily, the Spaniard thinks better of that one, but I'm sure Checo Perez was a little bit nervous in that moment. I'm just trying to save back up a little bit of battery at the moment, because I just feel like we're on the back foot early on in terms of raw pace here, but yeah, I don't think we really want to be spending all year battling with V-carbs there, as here we go, Sainz that turn round, well, makes the move on Checo Perez into turn 1, and well, you know, what should on paper be quite a slower car, Sainz is schooling Red Bulls, Mercedes and Ferraris early on here. Can we try and have a look around the outside of Checo? We have got a lot of downforce through the S's, but not enough. Oh, Perez, a little bit of a lock-up. Just... oh, no! No. Tiny bit of front wing damage there. Hopefully that's not going to affect us too badly.
It's going to need replacing if it takes too much damage.
As we need to try and get a run on the Red Bull there. But how on earth was that contact with Alonso back in Australia? Nothing.
Nice work. That's why I love working with you.
But that tiny little nudge there with Sergio Perez gives us a bit of wing damage. I mean, as we make our way through the S's, it doesn't feel too bad. Oh, I say that. We almost throw the car off the road. Perez, please don't have a look back for it. Luckily not there. Yeah, through left-handers, we're struggling just a little bit. But as we get to 1/3 distance then, I'm just looking at Sainz's pace, and I tell you what, he's actually going quicker than the McLaren right now. Of Lando, Norris in front of him there. Our top 5 all still very bunched up. I think Stroll and the McLarens even are just kind of having to watch as Alonso and Verstappen once again battle it out. But yeah, if Sainz could bring us slowly up towards that top group, maybe over the pit stop window, that could be a really good for us in the second half of the race. I'm debating whether to change the front wing. It's definitely slowing us down, but I'm genuinely not convinced it's going to cost us 7 seconds between now and the end of the race. But it feels like as soon as I said that about Carlos Sainz, he's just started to slow down again over the last couple of laps. I'm going to box now, though. Try and go for a bit of an early undercut. It worked quite nicely for us last time in Albert Park as well. So we're just going to try and get out of this traffic. Oh, just about get the car slowed down. That was pretty good. Please, team, give me a decent stop.
Okay, mate, that's it. Go. Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one.
Well, it didn't feel particularly quick, but it was a 2.5 second stop there, so the first clean one we've had all year. I was hoping we'd come out ahead of the Saubers, but I think we're going to end up a little way behind them.
We want to finish the race on this compound.
Yeah, that front wing damage, though, like I said, I don't think it's worth changing. I don't think we're losing that much because of it, and it's so difficult to try and make your way through a train of cars that I'd rather just kind of stay out and face the pain. Well, I'm adamant the only time we see Fred Vesti in this series is whenever I try and go for an undercut strategy. No one seems to have reacted to it, though, at the front of the order. So if we can get back ahead of Sainz and then just kind of, hopefully, just kind of stay in that P6, unless the front runners all really trip over each other late on in the Grand Prix, obviously we probably will see that group at the front kind of spread out a little bit over the pit stop window, but we need to try and get a run on both Saubers here. So we make our way back in towards turn 1. That was not what I wanted, as they're going to go side by side. We're going to try and keep the nose up the inside of course, Fred Vesti was a junior Mercedes driver before he went to Sauber in this series. But we make it through. Can we try and find a way around Zhou Guanyu? Of course, was an Alpine junior before he signed to Sauber. around the outside. That was aggressive, but fair. There we go. We are going to start seeing front runners into the pit lane then. Max Verstappen, one of the Astons, one of the McLarens, Carlos Sainz as well. So Perez has opted to stay out there. Hamilton's opted to stay out there as well. I thought by pitting early, we might allow our teammate the opportunity just to kind of have free reign over his pit stop. There's loads more cars, yeah, in the box, so I want to try and get out ahead of Carlos Sainz if possible.
2 seconds.
There is Carlos, and we have done it then, so that's been a really, really good undercut. We're going to get just that bit closer to Verstappen and Russell as well. How on earth has Verstappen lost to the McLaren? Well, I'm quite impressed with how far some of the AI have been able to take their medium tyres. They should be pretty comfortable on the hards to the end of the GP. It's only really been Bahrain where we've seen some interesting strategies coming out so far this season, but as we make our way back past the pit lane then, are we going to be able to get ahead of everybody we should be?
DRS is low. Consider changing mode on your MFD, or lift a little with gentle braking into corners to recharge it.
So yeah, Verstappen has absolutely lost out in that battle then. He's down to P5 in this Grand Prix. We've got a 2.5 second buffer to Sergio Perez, but Aston Martin have got a 1-2. Oh, we got yellows, Someone behind us, and he's dropping out of the Grand Prix. Who is that going to be then? It's not Perez, it's not Oscar Piastri. I think it might be a car a bit further back. It's Hamilton! Our teammate, bad season, goes from bad to even worse, as both he and Enzo Fittipaldi have been the two kind of front-running teams, drivers that have failed to score, and both of them are out of this race. That makes me a little bit nervous.
Stop the car. His race is over.
But Hamilton, how much bad luck can he get early on in this campaign? I mean, I'll be honest, based on his performances in the opening couple of races, probably looking like it's time to call it a career. I hate to admit it, but it's surely got to be playing on his mind. Well, into the final 10 laps then of this Grand Prix, I can only assume that it's Alonso leading the way there and not Lance Stroll. So we've got more yellows. Haas now at the rear of the field has gone for a little bit of an incident, so I'm not too sure what has happened there. But yeah, Oscar Piastri is really closing down on me towards the end of this one. I was kind of hoping the second half of this race would be pretty quiet for us, but yeah, I think we're going to end up in a battle with the man we replaced at the... Well, we just swapped with him, didn't we? Oh no, here comes Oscar Piastri then to the outside. He's going to have a look in towards 130R, and will the Ferrari man get the move done? Oh, I'm just trying to lift out, make sure I get the DRS on the exit of the corner there, so really trying to play the strategy or late on in the day, but Ferrari, Mercedes, Red Bull, all battling with each other. I think all of us wish it was a bit further up the order. But yeah, just a handful of laps to go now of this Grand Prix. Oscar Piastri goes defensive in turn one there, but we've got the power. We swoop back around the outside, and we're going to have to really get our strategy hat on towards the end of this, because we want P6. Well, if Oscar Piastri wants to keep trying this move here, then he can keep certainly going for it. It's Perez now just waiting in the wings, trying to see what he can do. So we'll try and have a look back down the inside into the Casio Triangle. Oh, that was a little bit ragged. Just about hold it on the white line. That was more of the Max Verstappen style move from Mexico a couple of weeks ago there. But yeah, luckily again we'll have the DRS back down in towards turn one. Will we see Perez now attack Oscar? Yes, we will. And that Red Bull even faster in a straight line, and Perez has done it. Well, I guess now it's Sergio Perez's turn to try something then as we make our way down in towards 130R yet again, wheel to wheel. But this time round though, Perez playing the strategic game there, waiting to make sure that I'm the one that without DRS this time. So as we try and get the power down off the Casio Triangle here, just 6 laps left here at Suzuka. It has been quite an intense race so far. Not battling quite at the sharp end, but how has Perez not got any speed on me that time? Is he just trying to save his battery? Oh, Perez that time round, he just muscles that Red Bull to the inside line as we make our way down in towards 130R. But I tell you what, we hiked that Red Bull up for its straight line speed. He doesn't seem to be able to use it at the moment. So I'll check over a look to the outside there. Oscar Piastri, I thought might try and have a look to the inside of the Mexican. But 4 laps to go then, and we are on the defensive drive of my life right now, trying to hang on from these other cars then. When we use the battery, we do seemingly have enough to defend from Checo in towards turn 1, but we are slowly running out of charge. Oh, and again, I mean, how many laps can we try and defend this? How many laps can we try and hang on towards the end of the Grand Prix? Now, wheel banging that time round with Sergio, as again, he just lifts out at the right time to make sure that I'm giving him the DRS back down towards turn 1. But at the... No! No, no, no! That was so close. So close to being us out of the Grand Prix there. Calm, focus, composure. We're still in it, but I cannot believe we're just 3 laps to go. The bottles have come out again, and now we are immediately on the back foot as Checo will try and run away from Oscar Piastri there. Sainz, we've seen him be quick all afternoon, but can we try and get this Mercedes back up the points order? Well, as I said earlier on, I'm pretty certain it's Alonso that is at the front of the order here, and boy oh boy, has he dominated the second half of this race there. McLaren battle it out with Verstappen and Lance Stroll, of all people, towards the end of this. But I tell you what, Aston Martin, they have really brought a race car this season, and after coming up short a couple of times in the past, could this finally be Alonso's year inside this series? Ultimately, yeah, I think the combination of the front wing damage and just pushing this tyre far too hard to defend for too long. As soon as that mistake was made,
2.0 seconds.
We just simply have not had the pace today, and I really thought this track would suit our car a bit more than it has done. We're still hopefully going to walk away with a top 10, but yeah, really disappointed that it looks like it's only going to be 1 point this weekend for the Mercedes team there. But down in towards the final few corners, though, like I said, I could be wrong. It could be Lance Stroll leading this one for just his second ever Formula 1 Grand Prix victory inside this series. If it is, I'm going to be absolutely shocked here. Lance Stroll, is it victory? No, it's not. Of course, it's Fernando Alonso there. Win number 2 of the year for the Spaniard there, and really now marks himself as a championship favourite in the end. McLaren come through for P2 ahead of Sir Lancelot as well. Aston Martin are here to fight. The same this weekend cannot be said for Mercedes. It is only good enough for P10.
What a drive! What a performance! Fernando Alonso takes victory!
And it's always good to get that momentum on your side, and it's really good for your confidence as well. The more confident you are, the further that can take you.
The Aston Martin team will be very happy with today's performance and the final result. Another display of excellent driving and excellent teamwork, and a well-deserved first-place finish.
There we go then. Fernando Alonso, 4.5 seconds clear. By far and away the most dominant win we've had so far in this campaign to get the Spaniard his second in a row there. Russell, again, another solid result with fastest lap. Means he still walks away with a buffer over Max Verstappen. Lance Stroll in third, finally a return to form for the Canadian there, ahead of Lando Norris and the Dutchman. Perez, ahead of Piastri, Sainz, Tsunoda and myself, rounding out your top 10 in the end there. And yeah, just Hamilton and Enzo Fittipaldi that failed to see the checkered flag. I would assume it was Gasly that made that mistake earlier on as well in the race there down at Haas. But what does that do to our championship? Well, it means now that Alonso has a 3-point lead over George Russell there. Verstappen's still in third. I'm still in fourth. Tied with Perez there, as Stroll and Piastri tied just 3 points behind. And Lando Norris, 2 fourth-place finishes in a row. When will we see him get a first podium of the year as well there? Still got quite a few drivers yet to score points Constructors-wise, Aston Martin now 6 ahead of McLaren, who are a further 4 ahead of Red Bull there. And yeah, obviously Fittipaldi and Lewis Hamilton failing to score points. So far, Mercedes versus Ferrari is myself versus Oscar Piastri, which is quite odd as well. V-Carb again, just opening up that buffer ahead of Alpine and Haas as well. But thank you all so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure you leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and we'll be back very soon with Formula 1's next Grand Prix. I think we're at Imola, but we might have a sprint at either Shanghai or Miami.